Hello and welcome to this O&DR Modurol video about Jaguar XK8 boot trim, lights, lock and rust. This is video 128 in our series of XK8 videos. In this video we're going to go through the access you need if, for example, your lock is jammed, you want to see the light bulbs behind your light panel. Generally you're going to have to get inside the vehicle to sort those things out. And same goes for rust. If you got rust spots below the XK, above and below the XK badge, also below the Jaguar badge, all those things rust from the inside out. So you need to get behind this back panel, both sides. It also applies to the boot trim, the rust at the bottom of the rear wings above the bumper. You need to get access behind these covers, both the right hand side and left hand side. So in this video we're going to explore taking that plastic trim off the back panel. As per usual in the video we're going to split it up into 6 sections. Section 1, the trim details that you're going to take off, try and avoid breaking it. Section 2, removing it, actually removing the panel. A quick section on the lights, the rear light units. Section 4, the access to the rear of the lock. Section 5, the access to reduce any rust activity. And finally, Section 6, refitting the back panel. The tools I used in this video are very simple. I used a cross screwdriver, a trim tool, and as part of the rust preventative work I did, I used some Modurol oil, basically a rust stopping oil, and some rust buster epoxy mastic applied with a toothbrush. If you're interested in Jaguar XK8s, XKRs, please take a look at our channel, O&DR Modurol. Lots of videos about the car on there. Section 1 then, the trim details. We'd like to go into the glorious details of the trim for anybody who's interested, so it'll avoid you breaking it. There are 12 connectors of various types, 3 types on the back panel. There's this spring clip. There's 4 of them on the lower portion. At each side there are 2 sort of recessed pods with screw clips, and at the final back there's the fir trees. So let's go back into those one by one. The top 4 there are the fir tree clips, KTC 1010. At each side you've got these screw type clips in those little recesses, 2 each side. Sorry, I couldn't find the part number for that. And then finally the spring clips, which seem to be very securely fixed to the back panel, so I don't think there's any problem needing spares of those. Section 2 then, removing the trim itself. In order to get the back panel off, you're going to need to remove your battery cover again, and the spare wheel cover. If you're not familiar, the battery cover just lifts out. It's not fixed with any screws or anything, it just lifts out. Put that to one side, and the spare wheel cover again, use a tether and pull it clear, and that will give you access to the rear part of the back panel, allow it to come free. Then you need to remove the back of the light units, the back lamps. You pull the little cover off for the wiring loom. Then you get access to the lamp itself. There are 2 tabs, you need to push them both inboard, and it releases the rear lamp cover. It's a bit fiddly, but there you go, releases that, and you've got access to the bulbs. Finally, in order to disconnect the actual rear lamp unit, you just need to depress that wire clip there and pull the socket away. Finally, you need to remove the boot lights. They just push out. It's very easy to get those out. Just push them out from behind. Once you've got the loom cover off, you can get your hand behind very easily and push them out. If you haven't got that, you can just flick them out with a screwdriver. There's a little recess to the one side. To actually disconnect the sockets there, depress both tabs either side and pull the socket straight out of the bulb holder. Then you need to remove the top fir tree clips with your trim tool. Watch out these, because these fly off, and spent a lot of time picking them up off the floor. There you go, the fir tree clips just pop straight out. Then we need to remove the screw clips, as I'm calling them. Just don't need to unscrew the middles, and once you've done that, it's probably best to take the screw all the way out. You can the clips will just pull out. You can either do that once you've unscrewed it, or just catch them as you take the back panel off at the end, although they could end up anywhere, so please be careful not to lose any of these things. So there you go, they'll just pull straight out. Then just the clips at the bottom will pull out. Yeah, just unclip very easily. Make sure you don't catch any of the wiring loom caught on the side. Push all that through, disconnect that. The other side, oh, I forgot to take that off. Oh, apologies. Just take the bulb holder out. There you go. Back panel is off. There you go. That's the first part of the exercise done. So section 3 then, the lights. We've got the light panel out. Obviously you've got 5 bulbs in there for fog, reverse, indicator, stop, tail lamp and tail. If you're interested, it's very easy to remove a bulb. You actually push the bulb down and rotate anti-clockwise to remove, and push it down and rotate clockwise to install. Very, very easy to change bulbs. As you see, it's very easy to get this back panel off and service them if you get a message on your message center saying you've got a tail light out or something like that. Section 4 then, lock access. So this is in case you've jammed your boot lock barrel is jammed. It's a real pain for most people, because in that case you can't get at your battery, and it's normally after your battery has died or something like that. So in which case, in order to do that, you need to charge your battery from the engine compartment. There's a video all about that. But once you actually do get access to the boot, you can actually I'll explain the mechanism now. I'll just pull all this tape I've put on to try and protect the lock mechanism. There's the actual lock mechanism itself. Quite good condition. There are 2 wires for the 2 methods of actuating the lock. The first is the central locking actuator there. You can see that that's actually inside the boot space behind the trim. And there's a second one then that goes to the actual lock, again behind the tape here. And you can see there's the actual lock mechanism in the little space between the 2 metal panels there. You can actually assist the lock with a trim tool or a screwdriver. If it's jammed or it's gummed up, you could put the key in the other side and just try and assist it with freeing up oil or whatever, but a WD-40, and you can actually get it restarted. Now if you wanted to actually remove the lock barrel, you can do it from the inside here, and maybe soak it in a bath of oil to release the mechanism. Once you've got it working properly, it should look something like this. This is me actuating the key from the outside. There, that's how it should work, and that's how you get access to the lock barrel. Okay, section 5 then, rust access. So below the Jaguar badge, it's prone to getting little bits of rusting from the inside out, as I shown in the circle here. And below the XK8 badge on the right hand side rear, you get little bubbles again coming through. Now the reason is you need to get access to the inside of the boot, left and right hand side, just behind the light, just underneath the light panels. And when you look at through the aperture there, you can see there's actually a reinforcement panel in there, which obviously has a small corner which is prone to rusting. You can see the signs of rust here. I've actually painted the one side. I'm going to paint this side as well with that Rust Buster 2-part epoxy mastic. It's really great stuff, and the idea of this is not really to kill the rust, but isolate it from any moisture or air, so basically kill it dead in its tracks. If you've got an XK8, there is no such thing as an XK8 with no rust. There are just XK8s where the rust is very well managed. Again, these are 20-25-year-old cars, There isn't a such thing as cars with no rust. It's a bit of my pet hate where somebody says, oh, my car's got no rust, and you look underneath and the thing's covered in the stuff. Anyway, we digress. On the other side, I've actually treated this corner. This is the lock barrel side. I've used the rust buster epoxy mastic because that stuff, it sticks like stink, and it also sets quite hard, but still remains a little bit malleable, so it retains its integrity even if it's hit by stones, whatever. But in this case, it's just as good for interior, and apparently is paintable. So even after you've painted your underbody black or whatever color is available in different colors, you can actually paint it. It's a lot better than mastic. But rust bubbles then above the bumper at the bottom of the rear wing. Again, you need to get access through the boot again, but for the side panels are very easily pulled away once you've got that rear panel out. There's no clips or anything holding them in. There's just purely the way it's mates together with the back panel and the fuel tank trim cover. Once you've got that bit of side trim removed, you've got very good access to the left-hand side rear wing, and also the right-hand side rear wing. You'd need to remove the multi-changer stack, which may have an amplifier in it, and sat nav, but it's quite easy to remove that stack, or relatively easy. Just unplug everything and you can get really good access into the inner wing. This is the picture of my inner wing. I'd actually already painted this with epoxy mastic previously, but there is actually a vent there, you can see at the bottom, and it will allow water or stones to go in. And you can see I've circled two areas where it looks potentially where rust is starting to come through again. So what I did is I hoovered out all the dirt, making sure, and I used this OWA Troll oil. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but this basically it's a thin oil that turns waxy once it solidifies, once the fluids is sort of evaporated, and it's very, very thin to start with, so it'll get inside any gaps and fill any air pockets, so that it's not about killing the rust as opposed to isolating from air and water. That's the way these things tend to work. So there you go, the treated area, and this stuff does dry out and it becomes very waxy, hopefully stopping the rust. Section 6 then, refitting the back panel trim. So to first of all, you need to clip on the bottom again. Once you get it in the right position, don't start hitting it. There you go. Nearly. No, there you go. We got it in. Put the 4 clips in at the bottom. You can see it's located properly at the front. Then you need to put the those little screw clips in. So what I did is put the clip in first without the screw. They are a little bit fiddly because they do obviously spread. That pushes in, and then you don't have to screw the screw back in. You can actually push these straight back in. Hence why they're in there, because they're very quick to assemble, and disassembly is the only issue. Then finally, pop in the 4 back panel fir trees. And literally it's easy as that. It's very quick to get the back panel off. Finally, refitting the boot lights. Clip the wire loom back in, socket, push those back into their holders. There you go. Easy as that. Do that both sides, obviously. If you're interested, I've actually fitted these festoon LED lights, and these are like really, really bright, and it makes a real difference in the dark in a car park or whatever. You want to see what's in your boot. These things are what you need. The normal filament bulbs are practically useless in the boot, to be honest, but these are a real good upgrade and very reasonably priced. Then all you need to do is refit the rear lamp holders. They're just pushed straight back on. It's easy, very, very easy. And don't forget to put those socket covers back on. These are things that tend to go missing very easily. Don't forget those. They're very difficult. to find if you lose them. Very small. So there you go. It's all back together. Hopefully the lock's been lubricated, the lamp bulbs have all been changed, and the rust has been inhibited. Let's say. We can't say it's killed it, but it's inhibited any further rust. Thanks so much for watching. So we've had all the sections. If you're interested in Jaguar XK8s, take a look at our channel, ONDR Modurol. Lots more content on there. There you go. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe if you'd like to see more XK8 videos.